Hello there guys, and welcome back to my Games Tycoon. So we now have our engine, which I'm just about to buy. I'm just about to buy the new copy for tech, which is fantastic. Colonization, we've just researched. Dev kits. Let's try and see if we can find one. Ooh, Nintendo Game Joy. There's also a decent one for the SMEs, so let's go ahead and do that. Then we're going to need more contract work because we don't have enough money to do all this crap. But we still need to research features as well to keep with the time. So let's carry on doing this. We're actually in the negative, which is not good. Probably because I've just bought all that all them dev kits and shit. Obviously, Feng doesn't look at the prices, does he? No, he just buys them and thinks, we got enough money. And obviously we don't. Which is fantastic. I haven't seen none of my engines being sold for a while now, so we are a little bit behind with the times, which is unfortunate. I suppose that's the downside of going off and off. I mean, if you was purely dedicated to just doing engines and then working you out from there, then that wouldn't be a problem. But because we aren't, well, we're a bit behind. To the point where I can't even make a bloody game. So all I need to do now is just double check and see how much we actually need to make the next game. Because otherwise we could be in trouble if we don't have enough. So let me have a quick look. So it's going to be a jump and run game, obviously, because that's what we've made it for. We can actually have it for adventure as well, because why not? I did colonization, so let's just try that. So I mean, already it's 408. Yeah. That's without dev costs to actually develop these for copy protect. Yeah, that's expensive. That's 5,700. Yeah, 575,000. So yeah, we don't have quite that much yet. If someone buys the engine, then maybe we'll get a bit more monies. But currently, we can't do that. So it's just a bloody waiting game at the moment, so that's absolutely fantastic. So, something a bit unfortunate, we are not getting enough contract work to actually suffice to accommodate for expenses and for research. As you can see, we're still in the negative. This is a really bad thing because we haven't made a game for nearly 2 years now. I think it's 2 years anyway, something like that. And yeah, so basically all them dev kits and stuff I just bought is basically going to be out the window soon, unless we can get enough money to fund the game, which we can't, which is annoying because I haven't got enough money. God damn it! I still need to keep spending money to bloody get research. I think I'm going to have to start researching for a while I get more contract work done, but it's looking grim at the moment. Someone needs to buy my engine, otherwise I'm going to be really screwed. Oh, speaking of engine, there we go, sweet. Now we're finally getting some money. I need one more to buy my engine, and then we should be good. Please, one more buy my engine. One more to buy my engine. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Finally, someone else has bought my engine. Unfortunately, it's still not quite enough. I've actually had to sack one of my workers because we just aren't getting the contracts. Even if we was getting the contracts, then we'd be able to afford it, but we're not. It's the RNG is screwing us over at this point. We're not getting contracts. I still need at least a few more contracts or one more engine sale before we can even attempt to make this bloody game. And by then, it's just going to be old tech. So it needs to hurry up because, yeah, it's going into 15 years. 15 bloody years. Shit. This is not good. This is far from good. And even more research than we can shake a stick at. Wow. Right, I'm actually going to take a bit of a risk now. We've got a few. We just managed to actually wait one more week and just see if we get one more contract. No, we don't. Right, so I've actually managed to get 1 or 2 more decent sized contracts, and I figured, you know what, fuck it. We need to make something now, otherwise it's going to be lost. So we're just going to, the texture's just going to be way too old. So, Jump and Run RPG Pirates. It's going to be called Fengferth. Okay. Thankfully, these have still got decent market shares. That's still decent copy protect, so that's good. Now, here's the crunch time. We need to hope it sells, because if we don't, there's going to be hell to pay. And we need to pray that we don't go bankrupt while it's being produced, because if we do, then shit. We need 1 engine cell really, just to be on the safe side. But let's just see what happens. I'm just praying at this point. Oh, well, go away, just go away. Yay, engine cell. Yes, that's just what I needed. That's just basically made it possible for us to actually sell this game before we actually got bankrupt. Just that 1 engine cell right there. And that's fantastic. Okay, so we got kind of lucky here. We actually got another engine cell, which is now put us in the positive, which is fantastic. And I can now actually go ahead and research about too much worry now, which is good. We're 68% in, and as you can see, basically all the stats are in the 400s, near enough anyway. Obviously the sound isn't, but we'll get to the sound in a bit. And everything else is handy dandy, so hopefully this will actually be a decent game. It's just really praying at this point, because if it doesn't take off, then we're going to be screwed-dooded. Oh, I just realised something as well. That must be bound to F10. F10 is my video pause button. That's the reason why that keeps. Showing on and off. All right, I have to leave it off on this, and then obviously I have to worry about it off screen. Whatever. We're in year 17, so I'm really hoping that this game will still suffice, since it is obviously quite late. Yeah, quite late in Summit. Alrighty then, we're getting really close to the game finishing, and the scores look good. The scores look really good actually, and it's just now a case of hoping that it sells. We need to make sure that it sells enough so that we can afford a new engine and that we can afford to make a new game. And we're back in the positive. Fantastic. Alright, so this is definitely our best game we made up to date, and most people want it apart from a few exceptions, so that's good to see. Now, who do I want to side with is the question. 7 games. Actually, you know what? That might not be a bad idea. Or Blue Ocean, for that matter, has a decent share. Okay, it doesn't have a lot of market strength, but it's a jump and run fan base, so that makes sense. You know what? I think I can go with Blue Ocean. Screw it. I'm just hoping it sells. And there we go. Toppy. All the genre was in the trend at this point as well. So that was lucky. That was very lucky. That was very unintentionally lucky. So that's good. It sold nearly 20. Whoa. Okay, it is selling. That's good. It's not selling an awful lot, but it's selling. Will it make a profit? It looks like it will. And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and make a game update. See if I can push the figures a bit more. Maybe. I don't know if it works like that, but we'll see. I'm actually in the million now. That's fantastic. We've just made enough money to at least be able to move out. And that's fantastic. That's just what I needed. And people are grumpy about... There's no trash cans around, so I suppose we best make some trash cans. Although this seems a bit silly, because I might be moving out soon. But still, we'll put some down just so they'll shut up. Stupid employees. There we go. That's done. Let's just do a bit more contract work on the side just to top it all up. Oh my god, we're nearly in 2 million. I think I made the right call on this one, guys. I just got more money for my engine. I'm nearly hitting 3 mil. I can probably already buy the big lot. I don't want to do that just yet, though. We're not going to be focusing on MMOs just yet. Yep. Game of the year. Basically everything fantastic. Now the question is, do I want to make a sequel? Or do I want to make a second update to the game? Maybe we could make a second update. Let's make a second update. Let's make it for... yeah, let's just do all of it and just see what happens. Okay, it's quite a huge chunk of money, but let's just see what happens. Don't judge me, guys. Because if it pushes sales even more, then that would be fantastic. But as I said, I don't 100% sure know what this will actually do. But we'll soon see. Oh, bollocks. Game updates and they're available to all buyers. I'm hoping that's... oh, it has drove sales. It looks like it has drove sales a little bit. Not by much, but it might be worth it if it's going to increase it by a fair amount. Brilliant. And yeah, we're getting close to 4 million, and that's absolutely fantastic. Sweet. We might be best off making another game. Doesn't have to be the same. I mean, economic simulation RPG. Let's do colonization this time, and yeah, we'll still use the same engine. I don't know if this will be as effective this time round. Oh, we should probably concentrate on buying some new copy protection stuff actually now while we're here. So we'll get the copy protection, we'll get the new dev kits. So currently the game station has quite a large market share. Everything else is fine. Alright, let's try this then. So we're going to make an eco sim RPG again. That's going to be with colonization. We're going to use the jump and run engine, which seems a bit silly, but we'll do it anyway. It's called Electroshock 2. Fantastic name for it. Copy protection. That should hopefully do it. So this one might take quite a bit of time to make as well, but I mean, if it is anywhere as successful as this other one, it's gonna be worth it. And then once I've done that, I might even then consider just moving straight to the big office instead of doing it in bits. And I think that might be the better solution at this point. Let me save. I have a feeling that will work out better. But again, we'll see. Let's research that. We shall see. Alrighty then, so we made quite a lot of profit off that. As you can see, we made 3.25 million profits. That's fantastic. Development costs was quite a bit, but it was definitely worthwhile doing that. We didn't make 1 million, but we sold 636,000 copies. That's fantastic. Okay, so far so good. We're at 91%. We're also in, well, we're going to be very shortly in year 20, so I'm really hoping that we get away with at least getting 1 more million out of this. We might not. That's the, that's the unlucky side of things, really. If we don't, then that's it. We need to focus on getting a new engine and whatnot. But at this point, we really need more employees, and we just don't have the room to hold more employees. So we really need to move out. So this game will decide whether we move out into the bigger one or into the smaller office. So it's as simple as that. And as we can see, it's now 99%. That's going to reach a bloody 1,000 at this rate. Oh, it's close. It's very close. Who wants it? Again, it's mixed. This one was a eco sim, which is not exactly what I want to do. See, there is an RPG one though, isn't there? But that's $5. Shit. I was with Blue Ocean last time, wasn't I? Should we go in Nankou this time? I'm just looking who we should go with. Nankou gives a decent amount to share. So does Syrian Games, actually. Oh, NGs. Actually, their fan base is RPG. Ooh. Let's go for NGs. And let's see what happens here. Okay, so it's a decent game. Some flaws. I just hope it makes the money back. And we will develop a fairly biggish update just to try and see if we can sway people to buy it. Possibly. It's certainly not got that that oomph that the last game did, but even if it's only a few extra million, then we'll be fine. We'll do a bit of contract on the side while we're waiting, praying that we actually make a profit off this. It's not going to sell nowhere near enough copies as last time, although it might. We're in the positive now, so that's good. We're actually earning money off the title, which is really good. Tri-engine. Lol. The names. Okay, it's probably gonna make just under a no. What would make under $1 million now? Oh, it might just make under $1 million, something like that. But with that, bear that in mind. I'll need to go ahead and use my adventure. We need to get some thingies for this, some stats for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and just make a really crappy one. As you do. It won't sell, but that's not the point of it. And there we go. Might still be a bit behind now, because I did have to pause quite a long time to actually, you know, because we didn't have that much money, so we had to pause my research a bit. Do you know what though? We're actually selling quite a bit of copies of that. That is interesting. Quality of the games are getting better. That must be it. And even now, you know, the game probably isn't really that brilliant in terms of quality. It's still going to be generally better because of the fact that, you know, my employees have a lot more experience and stuffs, which makes sense. Chrono Z. Yeah, I've actually made a bit of profit off that. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Good genre combination. Maybe it's just that helps it along a little bit. Just that one little genre combination, which is hilarious. There was also, I'm pretty sure there was saying about making it a negative if you keep making the same types of game over and over, but I have yet to see that. And to be quite honest, that's not necessarily a good way to go about it. Mainly because, obviously, yeah, you know, maybe your audience might get a bit bored of the same type of game after a certain time, yeah, which makes sense. But if they're mainly, say for example, yeah, I use mainly sports, yeah, obviously they do the FPS as well. But what I'm saying is they still focus mainly on sports, yet they still get, you know, the audience because they like sport. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not necessarily a good thing to do that. Okay, so we actually made $7 grand off that. I'm not complaining one bit about that. Considering I've got to protect on that thing and all, that's pretty epic. We might not have made we actually have made a lot more money than I expected with that. Wow. Let me see if we can. Oh shit! Hang on. Electroshock 2. Yeah. Let's see if we can make another. Let's see if we can push another update out for that and see if that might entice a few more sales. It might. It's Game of the Year again by the look of it. Possibly. Maybe. Yes, it is. I would have thought companies would have had the new engines by now and been using them. I mean, they obviously have been using mine because I haven't had a paycheck for ages for the engine, so. But I'm hoping this might swing it a little bit. That cost nearly 100,000 so if we can get another 100 off that, that would be, yeah. Looks like we will actually. So that's great. That's helped me a little bit. Okie dokie then. So we'll see how this goes at the end, and then obviously if we made enough money, which I think we might have. Teleport made 31k. Wow. I want to do a little test before we end the video. I want to do a little test. So as you saw there, we got quite a lot of sales considering we don't have that much features in. So what if I did this? We did the same thing again. Obviously we'll transport this time, but I'm going to go ahead and stick it on multiple platforms. Yeah, I'll stick it a little bit. I'll stick the copy protection on, but this time what I'm going to do is not put some of the features in. Yeah, so if we have just like really small amount of features, nothing major, like so maybe like mouse input, game saves, not even sprites. I mean that's $263 there, $263,000. Let's see what happens then. Because I haven't really messed around with just making semi-decent games. I've always been the idea of making really crap games to, you know, get the stats of the game itself, the genre itself, and then just making the best game that I can currently make with the features I've got available. Never really tried making one in between. So I'm going to use this as a test and just see. Because that's pretty cool. I mean, if I was making the shittiest games ever and I was still making a profit from it, I want to see if I could still make a profit making a semi-decent game rather than just one shit game or one brilliant game. Makes sense, doesn't it? And this one won't take very long to make either, and if it does actually start making a profit, then that might just be all we need to do just to bring this up a little bit more so that I'm more comfortable with buying the big office block. Holy shit, it's 6 mil. I forgot about that. I thought it was less than that, and I'm a dumbass. So I thought it was less than that. So yeah, it looks like I might have to just go through the small office route anyway, just to holy shit, it's done terrible. It's done fucking terrible. That's disappointing. But I mean, will it sell? I mean, that's the thing, it looks like it won't. It's not going to sell enough to bloody make a profit, is it? Let me do a quick up. Actually, how much is the update for these? So it's a smaller game, so it's going to be a small update. So let me go ahead and do that actually, and let's just see what happens with that, because that might bump the that might bump it up a little bit. All right, let's see what that will do. It probably hasn't. Oh, it has bumped it up quite a bit though, quite significant actually. Whether that was worth the price I paid for it though is the question. Looks like it might possibly be if it's still steady like that. I mean, what I could do then is make another update, but only make it smaller update, like so, and just see if that tiddles it a little bit more. I've just had a thought as well. You know, I just realised I don't know if this is updated properly. So for example, if I was to make a third update, yeah, bit overkill I know, but let's just say for example that's 33,000 there, that's 21,000 there. If I was to start development of that, would it automatically take it off that? Yes, it has. So at least that's working fine. So I can see that's, yeah. Okay, that's actually pretty good then. So I'm actually making a bit of a profit of that. Not a huge amount, but it's certainly noticeable. Ish. I'll say ish. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna put a cut in here. I'll see how this game does first. Actually, it's probably not going to survive much longer than that. Let's go ahead and do more contract work while waiting. I think we're gonna have to go ahead and buy a small office, I think, and then we'll see what we can do from there. We are a bit behind in tech, and we could do with upping our engine a little bit, so that's probably what we'll have to do next episode. But for now, it seems to be okay. We are making money off it. Not a lot, but yeah, force feedback. I am really behind in tech. That's terrible. Alright then, guys, so obviously this is not really going to sell any more than that. It's probably going to come off the market now, yeah, so that's to be expected, I guess. Alright then, guys, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll see you next time.